Is it a requirement that these MAGA TikTokers must ooze smugness? In a way, yes, because they are touting a mentality or belief system that is not based in fact or research. It is based off of emotions and simple solutions to complex problems with an authoritarian bent. What I'm trying to say is that they are touting ignorant or emotionally immature beliefs, and because of this, they have to maintain that mentality. And they do this by being ignorant and avoiding studying the issues more. And this manifests as a form of abrasiveness, usually by being smug or having a false sense of superiority. Let me provide you with an example here. I work in film on the side. I understand how difficult it is to make a film. But if you don't understand how difficult it is to make a film, if you don't understand the process, your criticisms of movies is going to be different than someone who knows how challenging it is. When you know how difficult it is to make something that's good or something that's watchable or even just to finish a project, your criticisms, your critiques are more nuanced and understanding and empathetic. Now, smugness, this idea that you are going to take pleasure from other people's displeasure, is not coming from a position of empathy either. When you understand what other people are feeling, what they are believing, then you usually don't adopt this mentality. You usually take a moment to listen to what they have to say and try to figure out a solution that benefits everybody. Again, smugness is a form of insecurity. And the reason why these MAGA TikTokers are like this is because their worldview forces them to be that way. Because if they actually studied more, if they actually learned more about trans people, if they learned more about the LGBTQI community as a whole, then they wouldn't be so smug. If they learned more about tax law, about tariffs, about what Trump is doing for the economy, they wouldn't be so smug. But they can't do that because then they wouldn't be in that same mentality anymore. And for that reason, they have to protect their own ignorance, which usually means by forcing themselves to act as if they know better, and therefore they have no reason to engage in anything that they disagree with. This isn't just politics, this can be almost any subject. For instance, if you're talking to a subject matter expert, their language will be very nuanced and measured because the subject that they understand is complicated, and the more you study it, the more complicated it becomes. For example, a regular person will say that water puts out fire, but if you talk to a chemist about this, they will say, well, in most situations, water does put out fire, but in grease fires, you don't want to put water on the fire because it can make the fire worse. The point I'm trying to make, however, is that if you are genuinely trying to inform people, the goal isn't for you to be right and for everybody else to be wrong and for you to take pleasure in that. The goal is for everyone to be informed as to what's going on, as to what can be done, and so that everyone can move forward. And in general, if you are dealing with subject matter experts, they understand this too. They don't benefit from other people's ignorance. They benefit from everyone being informed. However, they don't want to misinform people, so they will be very careful about what they say in case it generates negative results. So in a sense, smugness is a coping mechanism meant to mask someone's insecurity over a worldview that can't withstand scrutiny. And the important thing to understand is that the more you study a subject, the more complicated it becomes and the less you feel like you actually know about it. And because of that, the more you study something, usually the less self-assured you become and the less smug you tend to become over time.